Producer 20 is a Charlotte-based producer slash engineer and now is one of the hottest sought after producers in the music industry. You've heard the tag I Got 20 on my beat on famous tracks like DaBaby, Lil Uzi, Stunner for Vegas, and other big label artists. 20 has taken his beats from Charlotte to the mainstream now. He's ready to tell his story and his journey to the top.
And appreciate you coming to sit down with us. Oh, it's been a long road, my brother.
Man, a long road.
Oh man, so basically we brought you here, man, to tell your story. Creative Culture Group, you know, is a up and coming company, and we're interested in knowing your story and where you're from. I know I did a little research and you're from Gastonia. It's North Carolina?
Yeah, it's Gastonia, North Carolina.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about Gastonia, how you grew up, and a little bit of your story, man, and how you know, went from the bottom to the top.
And so basically, I was raised in Gastonia and Rocky Mount. I always say Rocky Mount.
Rocky Mount, okay.
Yeah, because that's where my dad stayed. My mother used to send me there for the summer and then come back when it was time to go back to school.
As far as the music, how did you get started? Like, what sparked your interest, you know, to do the music? And
honestly, it was my brother, because he was actually making beats on the PlayStation.
You did tell me that. Okay.
On the music generator. So
right.
he goes to Atlanta. He ended up meeting with Dungeon Family with Rico Wade, and I guess they was more or less surprised at the fact that he made beats on the PlayStation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they was like, okay, I guess they put him under his wing. Next thing you know, I'm over here like, okay, he lives in Atlanta now, off of making beats. So I pretty much wanted to be the little brother to support big brother and help make beats to support him.
But the little brother always want to outdo the big brother.
Yeah, the little brother always want to outdo the big brother.
Right. So that's definitely good motivation, man. How did you get the name 20?
Man, I got the name 20 from my homeboy Cedric Walker. We used to be in school and I used to rap.
Okay.
And my name was Antoine, so I used to just call myself 20 Toine. He just
20
Toine.
He
just called me 20.
Okay.
We just left it at that. But it was me, him, and my friend Joe Black. He showed me how to use Fruity Loops. I started using Fruity Loops.
Right. That Fruity Loops changed the game for a lot of people.
Man, did it not. So I was trying to prove a point, because the White T-Boys came out and they was using Fruity Loop type beats, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna show people that ain't how it works.
Right.
So next thing you know, we young. We thought we was gonna blow up off of music instantly.
Next week.
Man, it does not work like that.
Right. Let these young guys know, man, that it's not an easy road, man.
Nah, it's not an easy road.
If you're looking for a quick come up, this is not the business.
This ain't your sport. Man, it takes consistency, patience are everything.
Right.
You gotta understand, like, some people don't make it faster than others. You know what I'm saying? It took me 10 years to get here. Five of those years I took it serious.
Production, producer-wise, any producers that inspired you, that you looked up to, that you kind of took some, I say, keynotes from?
At the most part, on my come up, it was mainly the Dr. Dre's and the Timberlands, and it was pretty much the the producers that was in my lane on my come up.
Right.
Frank Nitty. Okay. Nitty's one that I kind of didn't look at until I started getting into the simple beats. You know what I'm saying?
Nitty beats, yeah.
He
so he definitely kept it simple, and he won big.
He won with it. So man.
Yeah. So definitely, like I said, keep doing what you're doing. As far as your career goes, in the beginning, some mistakes. What would be one of the biggest mistakes you think you made? I mean, mistakes, come with the road to success. So
honestly, the mistakes I probably made, not more or less paying attention to the business aspect of the music.
Right. Very important.
I was thinking about music all the time and not really focusing on business.
Yeah.
And I learned that sometimes that can hurt you. Well, no, all the time it can hurt you if you ain't really focused on the business.
Yeah, I talk to a lot of young guys now and I tell them reverse that, man. This is not the music business. This is the business music. If you get it that way, you're gonna be all right. Yeah. Because a lot of these guys come in music, and then the business is like, I don't know. Yeah, that's where you get hurt. So
if you don't know, man, please get somebody that does know.
Yeah,
That's my biggest advice for anybody.
For sure. So as far as the mistakes you made, if you could do something, say, different in your journey, you know, what would it have been like? What could you say, I would have rather did it this way or that way, or I wouldn't have done this, or if anything, you know?
I mean, honestly, I couldn't really say what I would have did different because I don't know if it'll affect
the outcome
of me getting here, you know what I'm saying? So
okay.
It's kind of like I got to accept the mistakes with the journey, because it put me in a situation where now I learn what not to do and what to do.
Right.
So I don't know, it could have made or break me if I did it then.
Yeah, for sure. They say take your losses as lessons.
Yeah, my losses was definitely my lessons.
So definitely you gotta have them, man. It's part of your story. I always tell people that every great person has a story, you know, and I've never met anybody great. You know, I've been around Grammy Award winning artists and their story's always been crazy. You know, and the sacrifice and the struggle and just, man, unbelievable. But like I said, it just come with it, and like I said, the longevity. If it comes quick for you, I don't see it lasting very long. You know, a lot of times they say, you know, if fast money don't last, you know,
the fast come up.
The fast come up. Yeah, ego, and a lot of times like you're not prepared for it. It's better to wait and be prepared for all the success, the money, you know, everybody coming at you, pulling at you, the attention, you know, everybody know your name now, and not being able to go places and not be recognized. It could be a lot and overwhelming for somebody who's not ready. You know, when you put in that longevity and that time into your craft, and you perfect your craft and master your craft, I always told you, focus on one thing and master it, you know, and then you'll see what it could do. And I think you finally mastered that. I mean, I've seen you create that sound, man. Real talk, that sound that's going on. I've seen you create. I'm gonna say it. I've seen them. I used to tease them about it, and now it's the hottest sound in the game right now. So I'm definitely saluting you on that, bro.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
You was telling me I couldn't do. I gotta focus on one thing. I was like, and it was hard for me to listen to that because it was like I was the guy that was doing the videos. I was the guy that was taking the pictures. I was the guy that was, recording, trying to mix, trying to be a hustler at the same time. So it was like,
and that's just being ambitious and trying to figure it out at the same time. You know, when you out there by yourself and you really want it, man, you trying to figure out which lane gonna break first. And I think that's where you were at with it. And I kind of saw the beach side strong for you. And where you were going with it, so I'm glad you stuck with that.
I told you from day one. I was like, man, I don't want to just do this. I want to be bigger than that.
Right.
And you stuck with me because, man, I know it was difficult dealing with me. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you know, it's part of the process. It's part of growing and learning. You know, different characteristics between you know, us as doing business together, and you know what I'm saying. I'm figuring out things along the way as well as you figuring out, and I'm trying to give guidance as well as look for guidance. So, you know, it's just something that in the end, the result was great, and I think we made a big mark on the music scene here, not only in Charlotte, but in this industry as a whole. You know, again, like I said, the sound that you created, I definitely see it being cloned tremendously.
It's been cloned a lot, you know so
I said, I will say it again, salute to you for creating that sound. Let's talk about Audio Box Studios. And Audio Box, if you don't know, is, I would say, the #1 studio in Charlotte.
#1 studio.
It has, birthed a lot of artists sprouting from the city.
Including myself.
Producers, industry, anytime artists come in town, they're at Audio Box. And 20 happened to come from Audio Box. How did that all happen? And
man, I'm gonna be honest. When I first came to Audio Box, I knew off rip. I put my life on it. I knew off rip something was gonna become of it. So it's when I talk when I talk to Mike.
Shout out to Mike, my
partner.
Shout out to
Mike. He asked me, did I know how to use all the equipment? I mean, of course. I mean, I lied. Man, who in their right mind would tell the truth and knock themselves out of an opportunity of a lifetime? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was like, I told him, yeah, I know how to work all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know how to work nothing. So, but the most part was when I got in there,
right,
I took the knowledge I already had and I applied it. And
right.
then every day I YouTube University. Until it got to the point where I became a dope engineer and all the artists started coming towards me and wanting to record with me. And I had good energy, so I always kept in mind that you got to keep a good energy. You got to keep good energy, and you got to know what you're doing. So if you can do both of those, you pretty much lock in stuff.
Oh yeah, that's one thing I did notice. Just kind of sitting back and watching how you ran your sessions, that you were really engaged and into the artists that you were working with.
Yeah.
And you paid attention to detail of what their sound, what you felt like their sound should be, and really helped them, really find their sound. Being an audio engineer, and it's a question that I wanted to ask you too, because me myself being an engineer and a studio owner, I see artists go from the bottom to the top or record major artists that's already out there like that, and I see them on TV and they win all these awards and all these accolades, and it's like the engineer kind of get lost in the celebration of that. So how do you feel, how important do you feel the engineer is?
Man, the engineer is the lifeblood of like the music, because sometimes, man, when it comes to engineering, it could make or break a record. Sometimes a record does not sound that good. Me personally, just from my experience, sometimes a record doesn't sound that good until an engineer puts their hands on it.
Right,
so
right.
I've heard records where it was like, and a good engineer puts their hands on it, it's like, oh man, I like it.
Oh yeah.
So
I tell people a lot of times, how did you know to do that? I was like, man, I'm putting my soul into this.
Yeah, it's like drawing.
Yeah, it drains you mentally and physically. You're putting your energy into that song or into that artist, and it's really creating, and like I said.
And especially if you like the artist, it's therapeutic to mix their work. So it's like nobody's telling you what to do. You're just putting all your energy into focusing on this record. You're hearing sounds that you wouldn't hear if you had chitter chatter in.
Yeah,
so it's like it's like you basically canvassing and painting on the work.
Oh yeah, that's what I tell a lot of people. I said a good way to vision what we do as engineers. We're like a painter.
Yeah,
and even if you look at, we use Pro Tools for instance, that's the industry standard. If you look at Pro Tools, when you first open it up, it's a blank. So you got a blank canvas. And then when you add tracks, all these tracks are colors. So what we're doing with this, we're actually painting and creating from what's in their head onto the canvas of the music and creating.
Yeah, basically sharing those ideas too.
Yeah, so definitely the engineer is very important. And the engineer has taken on probably 3 or 4 jobs too. It's not just, you can probably explain, it's not just engineering. Man, your vocal coach, probably
vocal coach, yeah, that's definitely one of them.
Hype man.
The hype man.
Put some more energy into it,
The guy that fixes grammatical errors.
Yeah.
That word don't make sense.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, what you mean? You gotta kind of tell them which words.
We might throw them a few free bars.
Free bars, no points. Free bars, no points.
I feel you, man. So yeah, definitely the engineer is.
And we're also teaching them.
Oh yeah.
So somebody might have like wrong dictation for the word. You like, no, that's not what that is. That's an EQ.
Yeah.
It means equalizer. And now they go to another studio and they actually know what to say to the engineer. So yeah, we're actually teachers also.
Punching in, yeah. Therapists. I didn't have. Man, it's real. So
yeah, that's true.
Okay, so moving on from that, who are some of the artists that you work with? I know you got a big list, but you can just give us a quick. And some of the songs that they might, I'm sure they know, but they might not. So just give them a little.
I'm gonna say Rico Richie, Snooty Wild.
Okay.
Stunner for Vegas, DaBaby.
Right. DaBaby.
Black Zach. Even on the engineering side, and I just add them all together. It was Boosie all the way down to Young Dolph, Black Youngster. It's a long list.
Oh yeah. So like I said, you put in the work over years, and now your notoriety is here. So, like I said, nothing but respect.
It's kind of like it was deserving that I actually get that spot. Because I remember we had an event. Right. I forgot what was going on. Rico Richie was there.
Oh yeah.
And everybody was in the room. And everybody was playing their beats.
Yeah.
Man, and I played it. Rico was like tapping my shoulder.
Let me get that.
Yeah, he was tapping it hard. And I was like, he was like, let me get that. I was like, all right, bet. Which is crazy that happened because when I sent him the record while he was there, a camera guy was in the back. His name is Lamont. It's my iPhoto Greats or whatever. And he was sitting in the back watching me the whole time. And he actually told me to come out to New York off of that situation. And I ended up shooting behind the scenes videos for 50 Cent, Young.
I remember that. I remember that.
So yeah,
I remember
man.
That.
Shout out to Audio Box. Man, Audio Box is a place for you to make plays and like just expand your horizons. You can't lose being here, especially if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, engineers, producers, try to align yourself with a good recording studio, and put in the work for them too. Don't just go up there and just sit around and try to meet celebrities. You really put in work and go hard for the studio and the staff and the people that's there, and it'll pay off for you.
And you gotta pay your dues. It's like no way around. You gotta pay your dues.
As a producer, engineer, mogul, branding ambassador, you do it all. What advice would you give to an aspiring producer or somebody say, I want to be like him? I like what 20's doing. How can I, start my career of being a producer?
Man, honestly, focus on your craft, focus on your personality, and focus on your promotion. If you can do those three things, you done killed half the battle. I'm saying you have to have good work. You have to have a good personality to make sure people feel comfortable around you. And you also have to have your promo game on point. So that way, even if people don't see you, they see you.
Right.
Like I'm still to this day, like I don't feel like I made it to the point where I'm not supposed to put flyers on gas station.
I seen a I got 20 sticker at the gas pump on pump 6 or one of the pumps. And like I said, that's one thing I always admired about you. You make sure that you promote and brand yourself. Me personally, I don't like to be seen too much on camera. And we had that conversation last week.
You got many hats. I don't understand why you're not in the limelight right now.
Yeah, you gotta put your brand out there, which is important. We do that, but you also gotta put your face so they know it's a face with the name, a name associated with the brand, so it makes sense. And I definitely, like I said, I learn from everybody. I'm not too big or too, I take from the youngest guys around me all the way up to the oldest, and I definitely watch your social media and how you market yourself, man. And you're doing an excellent job on that. So definitely salute on that also, man.
Appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Try something.
What's in the future for I Got 20 on the beat? What's
honestly, what's in the future is taking young students of the game and giving them an opportunity to change their whole outlook on life, jumping in more businesses, focusing on investments.
Yeah,
and
that's big right there.
Everything that I encounter in my daily life, I just look to invest it or be a part of that service.
Okay. So that's definitely the move. Any upcoming projects? Anything that?
Yeah, my brand new daughter. That's an upcoming project.
Okay, congrats, for sure.
She's gonna be a lot of my energy.
Oh yeah.
Which is another reason why I'm trying to put more energy into investments and putting into other producers and artists, so I can sit down and take care of my daughter. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. What do you feel like now that we got our time? I mean, I think Atlanta had it for a long time. Texas had a run. LA, New York always had it, but now the Carolinas finally got, the look that we needed. What do you feel we need to do to maintain and keep that momentum going?
Man, we gotta keep rocking with each other. We gotta keep building. One person get on, pick the next person up, make sure the next person is gonna pick another person up.
Okay, so with these artists or producers and them wanting to jump into this crazy business, because it's crazy, man. You gotta have thick skin to be in this business.
You gotta have thick skin. There's no way around it.
Personal feelings and all that. You gotta just really
separate them.
Man, it's crazy. So these artists, these producers, one thing I feel like they should do is align themselves with a good team. You always say, do they have a team? When I ask you, do you want to work with this artist? Do you want to work with this artist? You always be like, do they have a team?
Yeah.
How important is a team?
Man, a team is very important.
That's your main response. Do they have a team? Well, I like that. I think they got a team. I see them moving with a team. I'll work with them. Why is that so important that they have that team?
Man, it's important
for you
to me because like a team shows me like more than one person is dedicated to making you become what you're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't have a team thinking that you can do it on your own, not saying it's not possible. It's just it's gonna be extremely harder for you to get to your destination than 5 heads thinking for one person, than one person thinking for themselves.
Right. If you can't convince your homeboy, your homegirls that you can make it, and they like, okay, cool, I'm with you. Man. Yeah.
You can't convince your homeboy or your peoples around you. You can't
cousins, like
nobody. You know what I'm saying?
So with that, I mean, having a team and also a good structured foundation.
Definitely a foundation.
You know, having that, I guess, assistance or looking for a consultation or a company that can really get behind you and give you more of a direction. Because I see a lot of artists with a lot of talent and they're just like lost. Yeah. Lost. Don't know where, what, who.
They're the main ones that need a team because the creatives are the ones that have the most difficult time handling other duties.
Yeah. Like, so with that, how important do you think having a professional company assist you? I mean, I know in the beginning you try to do everything yourself. At what point do you feel like you need professional assistance in the business? Should you out the gate seek that? Or
man, honestly, out the gate you should seek it, but it should also seek you also. So it's like it has to be a common relationship. You know what I'm saying? You have the talent, and you can't walk up to a company and be like, "Yo, work with me," and because they're more or less like, "Why?"
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And vice versa, you work with a company that's been with you, so it's like they know what you need. They know what's going on.
And at the end of the day, you're a product.
And you're a product.
So if you can align yourself with a company who can help you package yourself, you know, and present yourself in a more professional way, more polished way. At the end of the day, you need representation.
You definitely need representation. No matter
that's what. So
you go to court, you're gonna need a lawyer to speak for you.
Oh man, I'm not saying nothing.
Man, I'm just saying, you can't walk up to the judge and be like, "Yo, hey, look, man." I mean, you're gonna need somebody who knows the business, who knows how to speak to other lawyers and DEAs exactly what to do. I like that shirt you got right there.
Man, you already, hey man, this is who you need to.
Little gold on
Creative Culture Group is a company that can assist you in exactly what we're talking about. So y'all check them out as well.
Check out Creative Culture Group.
Yes, sir. Well, man, we definitely appreciate having you, man.
Appreciate it.
Shout out to you, man. Shout out to Creative Culture Group for putting this together.
You can't be creative without this culture.
Not at all.
So with that being said, it's like
we can do a toast, man. To the. I got a little something for you, man.
Man, you know I love champagne.
You know, you always ask me when we was gonna do our toast. So it's been 6-7 years.
I finally get a drink from Audio Box.
We're finally gonna do the toast. 20. Salute you, my brother.
Man, there's three things you remember in life.
And what are the 3 things?
Oh man, you entertain, inform, and you inspire. When you do those 3 things, you keep the people's hearts.
That's what it is, man.
All right.
Salute.
I got 20 on my beat.